Hey everyone, Snowflake CEO Frank Slootman made a remarkable comment in the company's quarterly earnings call that you're going to find very interesting. But before I reveal and share what that comment was, I want to go over some of the company's highlights so that when we reach that comment, you can decide for yourself if the CEO's statement is accurate or if the CEO is just hyping things up, trying to make the company seem better than it actually is as an investment. So let's get started. The company in the second quarter, product revenue grew by 37% year over year to reach 640 million. Adjusted free cash flow of 88 million was 50% growth year over year. So Snowflake has done a good job growing the revenue and helping grow cash flow by constraining expense growth while revenue increased. And Snowflake CEO goes on to say that there remains an unsettled macroeconomic environment, but there is incremental improvement in general sentiment and engagement. Remember, ever since the Federal Reserve started increasing interest rates, which has been over a year now, businesses and institutions started bracing themselves for a recession. Typically, economic growth slows down when the Federal Reserve increases interest rates because it just makes it harder to generate profits on existing projects because the cost of capital increases. So you have to incorporate that in your cash flows, and then you consider the project and you say, well, it's no longer profitable if the interest rate is higher, if the cost of capital is higher. And so enterprises have been bracing themselves. One of the areas where they've been cutting back spending is with Snowflake. And so enterprises are also realizing that they cannot have an AI strategy without a data strategy to base it on. Right? You can't have artificial intelligence without the data. It's only as good as the data you have to support it. And that's why I've been saying some of the companies that are going to benefit most from this increase in effectiveness of AI are the ones with treasure troves of proprietary data that only they have, that others are not privy to. Companies like Walmart, right, that generate substantial amounts of data that they could then use to improve their business. Other businesses don't have that scale of data that Walmart has in terms of shoppers, activity, purchases, returns, how they purchase, where they purchase, when they purchase. All of that can be utilized to generate more profitability, more revenue, and increase competitive advantage. AI reaches beyond enterprise boundaries. Models need more than just the proprietary data to answer challenging questions. Although I would argue that point, if you're a company like Walmart, you might not need any external data. But like I mentioned, very few companies have that scale of data that Walmart has. So most companies, I would say 99% of companies, will need data beyond what they have internally in order to develop that, uh, uh, in order to answer these challenging questions. And so data sharing makes Snowflake uniquely positioned to enable these AI workloads. And as of the second quarter, Snowflake customers, 26% of Snowflake customers are sharing data, and that was up from 20% in the same period last year. So more and more of the businesses that use Snowflake services are also sharing their data with Snowflake. And a new service, Document AI, is in private preview. And with Document AI, customers can use natural language to ask questions of unstructured data. This is vitally important. There's a lot of unstructured data out there that would be useless unless you can have these large language models help you infer valuable insights from them. Otherwise, it may not be worth the effort to take all that data, log it, structure it, and then try and infer some data from it. It might cost you more to do all of that work than the data would provide in value in terms of insights to the company. So with large natural language models, that could perhaps unlock a lot of insights from this unstructured data that would otherwise go unused. And so here is the quote that the CEO made that I'm going to share with you, and I'm curious what you think about it. And Snowflake CEO saying that Snowflake is sitting on a gold mine of data, and together they can help customers turn that gold mine into intelligence. Interesting quote there from the Snowflake CEO, and I have mixed feelings about this because I feel that, you know, yes, there are opportunities to incorporate data to infer intelligence from, but I feel the biggest gains from data to make intelligence decisions, a lot of that has already been harnessed. Uh, Although there may be areas that are ripe for continued growth and exponential growth. So I could understand both sides of that argument. So it's an interesting statement here from the CEO, and I'm gonna leave off the video there, and I'm interested in hearing what you think about that. Right? Is Snowflake sitting on this gold mine of data, or do you think most of that data is not monetizable? And I'll give you an example. In Snowflake's previous quarter, they mentioned that one of their largest customers changed their data retention policy, going from keeping their data for 5 years and reducing it down to 3 years, just because the cost was more than the benefit of keeping that data. Right? It was just extra data the company was keeping, paying for storage, paying for protection, and it wasn't worth the effort. So that's an interesting counter argument to what the CEO is saying here. So that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.